All right. Is it Wednesday, Matt?
It's Wednesday.
Is it 2 p.m.?
It's 2 p.m.
Okay. All right, I'm back. I can't lie, I'm a little nervous, Sloan. It's been a long time.
I'm a little nervous too.
Oh, what are you nervous for? You're
I don't
pro
know.
now.
I don't know.
Okay, well, here we go. We're going to do
We're
it.
conquering fears today.
Okay, so guys, Amy is not here today. Welcome to Style Class. She is shooting Resort 2026. I know. We're now in spring, summer 25, so we are definitely ahead. It's really, really good, so get really, really excited. Last week, we started live selling.
Yes.
And so
last
that
week
went
was our first week.
Right. And so the good thing about live selling is I love that I started following like many of you in 2020. And Amy was doing something that other people were doing, but in a different way on Instagram. And so adding live selling to me gives so many tools. When we had the comments on, it was cool because we could talk about it together, but now it's a different place. So we can talk about it on the website on tippy.com. We can also offer you a place to kind of make your wish list and really give you options to shop with intention or not shop and just have more information and education, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, so today is about what shoe when. What shoe when for me is a big deal because most people get dressed from the top down. I kind of try to get dressed from the bottom up. I love shoes. They never fail me. Size, whatever stage of life I'm in, I can always rely on my shoes and my coats for the most part. Thank you, Matt. We appreciate you so much. So you wear heels almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk to me about it?
Today alone, I'm on my third pair of shoes.
Okay.
Oh, actually, that's not true. I'm on my fourth pair of shoes. I came to work in heels, got to work, changed into a different pair of heels, changed into flats to get here, and then another pair of sandals for live. I also love shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I am really hard on shoes, so I come to work usually in two pairs of shoes. I walk in sneakers and then Subway and sneakers, get to work and change. But I love a heel. I feel like I generally, I'm wearing big baggy jeans, a loose slip dress. So
Well, you're a pant girl too, so
Yes.
I think that matters, right?
Yes, I agree. Well, yes, I am a pant girl, but I agree that it does matter. I always think that just like even like I'm not wearing 6-inch stilettos. It's a little kitten heel, but just that much elevates me to feel the right amount of feminine with my big pants.
So elevation and femininity is where you kind of start. And then it leads the way. So what I love is I always hear Sloan coming, and I think that's a really good feature to have when you're up and coming in your career, or otherwise you have to walk with intention, and heels do help with that. And also it just elongates the look. So not in a way that's about size or weight or height. It's really like my eye just goes from like the top of her head to the tip of her toe. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's talk about shoes. We have a rack behind us. We're going to show you what shoes when what outfit. Cool. Could you hand me the atlas? Okay, so we introduced the atlas, which I'm really excited about because if you look at it from a distance, you'll see it feels like you're wearing the Baron, right? You see this base is actually big and it has a big feeling but with a slim vibe. So say for instance, you are dressing up and going to like, I don't know, what type of party would you go to? Do you go to any parties?
Yes, parties. I don't know, right now it's springtime, maybe like an outdoor something like a rooftop situation.
Okay, so rooftop to country club to, I don't know, wedding. You could wear this if you have something that you want something more minimal but has a little bit of personality. What I love, and I hope I pronounce it right, Ina Zyfart? Zyfart. So Amy used to carry this little keychain around and she had it attached to her Birkin. She had it attached to her
Or
Balenciaga.
LL Bean toe.
Yeah, her Timmy Birkin, which is the LLB tote. She's gonna get a good laugh about that. And so it was something special because it always gave a pop of color. You would see it hanging out of her pocket. And so we've added these and they're removable from this shoe. So you can have it really clean and minimal, or you can add just a little bit of color to it. And so we offer them, well, yeah, this is the navy and black, which I love because you can go either way. And then this is white. And so when you're wearing this one, I really feel like this grounds you, but you like have the feeling of a flip-flop, but the grounding of like almost like a sneaker. It's kind of like in between the Dwayne too.
Yeah, I would say the footbed to me reminds me of the Dwayne. I think the Baron was a little before my time.
What a time to be alive. That's like saying you never heard of a certain singer. Oh my God.
I think it was cycling out right when I started because I started last February.
Okay. All right. So Baron and Dwayne had a baby, and then we have this. So if you want femininity, but you want some function, you want something minimal, but you crave a little bit more, and maybe you're wearing this with a cotton poplin dress, or maybe you're wearing it with a slip dress. Today you're wearing the alley, and so you're bare on your arms, but you're actually more bare in the shoe too. Why?
Mhm.
Tell me why.
I think if I was wearing the slip dress without this is just the circular fine rib tank. I think if I was wearing it without it, I would feel a little too skin-esque. But having this covering on my chest, like I know my shoulders and arms are up, but it's, it's almost June, so having like a little skin on the bottom doesn't bother me. But if I were, if I were going to the office, I guess I would maybe. I came to work with a sweater around my shoulders, so like I do have a little bit of coverage.
Let's see what this would do.
Yeah.
So just for instance, right now she has on the alley. You have this on your shoulders. I think the white is kind of taking our eye away. If you were going somewhere in the evening, you would have it on bare. And then maybe then you could actually wear a higher heel if you wanted. So you could do, I feel like the Allen for me, it looks cute. Sorry. The Albert for me with sweats really works. But then for you, maybe it's the Kendrick because it's a little bit more bare.
Yeah. So that was actually the cause of shoe change number 1 today. Is I had these on with this slip, and I felt a little too feminine, a little too fancy, if you will.
Okay. So these antics really do happen with shoes, guys, and I think right now I'm just gonna pop this on. I definitely didn't want to wear black with black, but I like how a heel really elevates this real hand sweatpants. So those of you just got back from London and people are not wearing sweatpants every day in a way that we do here in America. They're very like tailored, but I think this is a really great tailored pant that just so happens to be in fleece. And so when you pair it with a shoe like this, the point, the leather, everything about it is more elevated. Okay, so I've gotten a little bit off, but I really like talking about the sporty and bare shoe that is the Atlas. What about Silas? Silas is our clear, our clear buddy. So, oh guys, did you see what I just did? I was like, something's a little off. I still have on the other shoe.
Which do you want?
Welcome back. Welcome back, Tor. I don't know. Style me. All right.
I'm gonna say white because then you're sandwichy.
All right. Good call. So the Silas, if I were to compare the Silas and the Atlas, so here you have something that's a little bit more sporty, right? These are both sporty, but in a different way. There's something really special about this gold hardware and also the sheerness here. It almost looks like guitar strings, would you say? Or like the things that are in lightsabers when you go to like, I guess you never been to
Lightsabers.
Amy would know. The circus when they have these little lights and
oh yes, with
like
the little dots on the ends of them.
Yes.
It kind of looks like a
it looks like it carries light or it doesn't. Right. So I would choose this one if I were wearing something that I wanted more fun but sporty and I wanted to be grounded, and I would choose this one maybe if I wanted something a little bit more transparent.
I think this one too gives it's like it's the good skin. Like I think if you're looking for the big slim skin and you want your shoe to be the skin, like this is the perfect one that I would gravitate toward.
But it's adorned too. Would you wear this one with your long pants?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
I just tried these on recently and they're really good.
All right, so let's talk about, one second, I want to see. Let's talk about fun. So when would you wear a fun shoe with texture?
I would wear a fun shoe like this, maybe with something like kind of unexpected. I remember seeing Sarah Brody wear the striped Winslows and the light blue matte heel and like a striped sweater, and I thought she looked so cool. And like that's exactly where I think that's like kind of that unexpected like funky element, because she's obviously more on the C and I'm more on the P, so for me I'm like thinking the most tame outfit I can think of and then like a fun pop. But I almost feel like it kind of balanced, like wearing it with sweatpants, it just kind of works.
So I think there's 3 types of people, which is really all of the people. You have your C, like high C, low P, which is Sarah, and she's gonna wear this with like the lace slip skirt. She's gonna wear it with something way more push. We have most of our basics here. Pattern mixing, texture mixing. It doesn't matter what else she has on top. She's gonna throw that on regardless because the whole look is like ton, kind of like Davina says, or is her modifier. For me and Amy, we kind of fall in the middle. I think that I'm wearing this with something more pragmatic like this to make it feel a little bit more elevated. And then there's the middle. Who do you think falls in the middle? I think Fauna falls in the middle. Grace kind of falls in the middle too, no? No. Grace is more push.
I think, Grace is a little more push. Fauna can be. I think she's maybe like one step more.
Beyond you?
No. She's like more middle than I am. I'm pretty
Okay.
far pink.
So it's you and Tracy, and then it's Amy and myself and Fauna, and
Mhm.
then there's Davina and Sarah.
I think, yeah, like Grace, Davina, Sarah.
Okay. All right.
We're all
So
on scale.
when I was traveling, guys, this was one of the things that I traveled with. I did travel with my flip-flop. I kind of now bring like a hotel shoe, but this is more than that. I wear this with dresses, gowns. You could also, I'd love to see it with your slip skirt, slip dress, and then this guy, which is easy for me to kind of slide on and off at TSA, and then put my compression stockings on that I so love. But this is a different way. Like, I kind of am craving more color here, and I wish that I had this in blue, because do you want color? Do you want texture? Do you want fun? Like, what is the real reason that novelty is playing in your wardrobe? Okay, so what about this one? I'd like to see this one on you. Is this your size?
I don't know.
I wanna see it.
Lace.
Okay, so if I were to take a really fun shoe and inject it in, I really think that guys have been doing this. I feel like I'm out of sync. I've been doing it IRL, which has been great. I love meeting all of you, but I have to get back in sync with my style class trip. So I really feel like today I look a little bit more serious, and if I wanted a playful twist, I would probably add some color, but I don't know that it's just color, because I feel that way about like metallics. I feel that way about the icky, which is kind of now, this has become like our bare end. So I don't think I would go all the way to Featherland. How do you feel?
I love these shoes. I own them in black. I don't know that I would pair the red with the black, because I feel go dogs and Texas Techie. But I do love these. Like, I really do gravitate toward my matte heels, especially like
You have them in white, right?
I have them in black.
Oh yeah.
But like wearing tights and the pleated mini skirt from Resort, like I love wearing my black mats with that.
Well, for instance, I feel like if you were wearing this, I doubt that you would wear that skirt, because this is already pushed. This doesn't need pushing anywhere else.
I agree.
And it's also, I would lean into something that's a little bit more flat, a little bit more. Maybe you're wearing this guy and adding a pop of color. And so for those of you that kind of fall in the ring 3 neutrals, and you're trying to figure out like how to elevate that and energize it a bit, any of our colored shoes would be a vibe. For instance, I really like running the gamut with all of our reds. I was gonna pull up a red, but you could easily do the Seth in green. You could do the Seth in blue. Anything from ring 4 would bring this up. And even honestly, this is really a ring 3 neutral too. So this is stone. So if she had on a stone pant, this would really pop there too.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So what about smooth? If you were wearing something smooth and you wanted to add texture, I feel like the fluid drape is really smooth. And if I wore just a plain heel, I feel kind of flat in this. So I really am praising texture. Oh,
Raffia
you could.
gives you a little bit of texture and interest, especially with like the different color of the raffia to the leather of the shoe.
It gives personality for sure. Or I want something a little bare, because I feel like this kind of, for me, feels a little sporty and masculine in a good way, but I love having a strappy sandal. So wearing I get them mixed up, the Wilder and the Kendrick, either of those. Weber. Yeah. So this one, I really like the red. I know we mix red and mint a lot, but I like the red with this as a pop, or if I wore the black.
And I agree that it does give you, like, for a cargo short that's a little bit longer, having the like kind of dainty strappy sandal is like the perfect balance of like femininity, so that it doesn't feel so like, I wouldn't necessarily pair this personally with like a sneaker.
Yeah. So let's talk about heels. And straight to heel barely. I found that I really wear my crispy nylon. I wear my Sids. I wear my Winslows with heels. And just like you said, I like that it really kind of like makes my eye. You see my whole self in these. I almost want to pop them on for you. And it gives me a little lift without anybody knowing that I have that lift, but I also have the point here. So it's structured for things that are really soft, or it elongates. And I really hate when I talk to people, and I don't know, you say it to me, but I want to not look so wide, or I want to not look so short, or I want to not look so something. I think it's really about like how you look like one person all together, and your eye or someone else's eye isn't broken up. So that, and let's see, what about this? You haven't gotten this one yet.
No, I haven't, but I do love it.
What do you wear it with?
See,
what would you wear it with?
this is where I think, like, naturally I would want to say heel, but then I think I would put it on and feel just a bit too done up, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'm really not a sneaker person, and especially with the nylon, I think I would feel just like a hair too sporty.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is where I would go for like this guy and wear like have a little, because it's, you know, this is a balloon-esque skirt, like it's pretty covering. It's kind of more voluminous, giving you that like big, and so then this can be like my this would be giving me my skin.
So for this one, I like that. I like the volume, but you also get like it's not a sandwich, but your leg poking out. I really crave something. I'm a sneaker person, but I also want something that is an alternative to sneakers. So wearing a white shoe and a dressy, like leather, like a hard bottom is really nice for me. So this or a Seth I would wear, but then I would probably wear also, can you hand me the boot, please? Is that the style? So a few of you reached out and asked me like, how does this fit? I took this in size 41. I have a pretty large calf, so my calf is like 15 and a half or 16 inches. But I find that having something that has coverage and also has like ease and just generally it's comfortable, but it's like grounded. It's almost like wearing a loafer, but that I don't have to worry about what sock I'm wearing. So that's the big problem here. Like in the summertime, you know you're gonna wear a clear open shoe or not a no-show sock, but I need coverage. And then when I'm doing socks that are interesting, maybe if I were wearing the Seths in red or the Seths in blue, I would wear a sock that kind of matches that to elongate. And it almost feels like a board. Board. I haven't said that name in a while. I missed him.
I love my boards so much.
Which color do you have?
I have gray, and they are like, if I know I'm gonna have a busy day of running around, often on style class days, like that's my go-to flat shoe. Like I really don't. I have one pair of sneakers and they're like athletic.
But tell me why that shoe. What about that shoe do you love? And without describing, feels like the first day back. Without describing the shoe, what are you looking for when you put that shoe on?
Comfort and being game, like your modifier. Like I can really do anything in that. I can squat down and fold things up, and I can run around samples and take them to messengers and run downstairs, and they're the best.
Okay.
I love them. Mine are also so run down. I've worn them literally. I've worn the soles out.
Not bad, but you also could find a cobbler if you want. Yeah. If you want, do what you want with that information. But yeah, so I really enjoy wearing a loafer. And for those of you that are more pragmatic, this is like your work shoe. Maybe you're wearing this with jeans. I totally would wear this in white. I like it with this, but I would wear this with my sweats. It just changes the vibe slightly, and it looks more relaxed, but also really, really sharp. Agreed?
Agreed.
You were talking about your boards being dog. These are my sets. These are the original Dendadas. And if you know, like sneaker people, I know that there's some people that sell sneakers that are distressed already, and that's a cool vibe, but I love that I know I created the distressing here, and it's okay with me. It doesn't have to be perfectly white. And so I feel the same way about your boards. So I wear the shit out of these. But these, if I wore with my sweatpants, would feel way more chill than the white shoe. So this is the versatility of like everything that you do, because if you're craving that feeling, I don't know if you can see it. So this is me running around. Maybe I have errands. Maybe I'm going to the grocery store. This one is me taking a meeting or going to meet friends for drinks, and I'm still wearing the same outfit. Cool. Let's change some shoes for you too.
Okay.
So I would love to see what that green Seth would do with this outfit.
Okay.
You know what? Are you a gold person or a silver?
I like gold better, but I look better in silver.
But you're wearing gold earrings.
But I have a silver watch.
Some people don't even mix up. So there's like if you wear one, you wear all of them.
No, my ring stack is mixed metal too.
Okay. So she's in the middle. living in the gray, but mixed metal. So I love metallic things, but I feel like sometimes it's a little too glam for me. I don't know what it is, but I like the irony of wearing this. So you can see it does something. It's interesting. But they're two different end uses. One's a little bit more bare, one's more grounded. So what about this? I saw your face.
I think it's like the little teeny tiny bit of ankle that I'm not liking. Like I'm feeling too broken up right now.
For me, it's if I didn't see this, then I'd be a little bit better with it. If you were like running around and going to the I wanted to tie something around your waist. But if you had like a striped shirt and you were going to the farmer's market and then you didn't have that white shirt on, I feel like it'd be okay.
Yeah.
Because that helps. Okay. Curious. So we've gone from, we didn't do work, because you kind of work. Work,
Yeah.
a dinner, weekend. What else should we do? I don't know. Let's see the flip-flops. So the flip-flops come in 3 different colors. I usually gravitate to tan because I think I'm a little bit more pragmatic, but I'm trying to lean more creative in my purchases, but with intention this year. And so I feel like, I just realized I was like standing on 2 different shoes. I feel like if you're kind of like me and that's where you are, you should probably lean away from what you normally do. Like this is a very safe way to do shearling, to do a very interesting shoe. I got stopped a lot on the plane with the shoe, but it would be a whole different vibe if you had the red. I want to see where the red is.
Do we have them?
Yeah. So
Okay.
can you talk about how that feels?
Yeah. I honestly I do love these flip-flops, and I think maybe it's having like the full foot doesn't make me feel as chopped up than when I had the Seth sneaker on. Like I think having some toe like kind of helps too. But I agree. I think that this is like if you are someone that's in the market for like, you're a pragmatic dresser, but you want that little like interesting element. This is a safe gateway, if you will. I mean, it's a flip-flop. Everyone has a flip-flop. It's a good silhouette, and then just adding that really interesting element.
Try on the black. I'm curious. Because I feel like Tracy, we love you. You know who you are, the all black everything. But I feel like this is very Tracy Reed.
Who's literally the coolest.
She's the coolest, but also she's trying to stay the coolest because she lives in the hottest place.
Yeah.
And the way that she gets like ton is through texture. So if you're somebody that wears ring 1, ring 2 only, then maybe you would gravitate to the black flip-flop. And as you can see, so the black one, it almost reads navy. This runs true to size. It has a little bit of a high pile on the side, but then you see that it has leather in the middle. So you still have the same footbed that you would, and you have this hard sole. So these are made for indoor, outdoor, which is great. I would totally take your true size. What size do you wear?
This is, I think, this is a 40 and I'm a 39. Like I would take a 39.
Okay. And I'm a 40 and I take a 40. So if you're looking at this one, I definitely think it's something that's worth taking your own size. And also it just gives dimension in your wardrobe. I really love if anybody has a question, but if you are home, working from home, I'd love you to just take a glance at your wardrobe and see, like, what do you see immediately? So I have photos of people's closets, and sometimes they're like all neutrals, one, black shoe, and then everything's brown. So you know that you have a gap in maybe a colored shoe, or maybe you have a gap for a textured shoe. So we've covered a few novelty, which were the Brian sandals, which I wear at 40, and the matte heel and feather, which comes in purple, red, black, and white, and blue.
And wait, yeah.
Okay.
Like we're missing one, but
We are missing one.
blue, red, purple, black, white.
That's it?
Maybe that's it.
Okay. Now,
We love them. I love them.
Yeah. Okay, so texture. What about the Seth? So do you have any Seth? I'm going to bring the Seths in the neutral.
I have the nylon ones here too.
Okay.
So for these, I think like they definitely play a part. I don't know. I feel like you're kind of in sets a lot, but they never look. It still reads elevated.
Yeah. So I find I have a lot of shoes that are multicolored, and they can feel very same. Like I came in. I had another shoe. Sorry. Most of my shoes are like this type of vibe, so they're really bright. And I really needed something that was like a without fail for a shoe. And that doesn't mean that this is, but these are two. This is like more push, and this one is more like grounding. The Seth, I usually want to wear it when I want to feel dressed up and elevated, but grounded, and I want to wear a sneaker. And so people that wear suits, but they want to be like chill, but also casual, but not too casual. For instance, you're wearing this, you could take a heel to it because it's Italian, not Italian.
Crispy.
Crispy. It's crispy. I'm in New York. It's crispy. It's crispy nylon, so I like leather here, but if I were wearing this in tropical wool or in the Simon or a Stella, I like to do leather Seth. So there's three now. The OG, can you hand me my leather one? So we have leather, we have suede, and we have nylon. I find the leather, this is mine, it fits like a glove in a way that's like a really soft driving glove, so it molds to your foot, which is great. And it's supposed to be that way. Some people have asked me like, what do I do if I need an insole? Unless your insole is like one that's a little bit lower, you can pop it in, but it's supposed to be collapsible and easy. Almost like a ballet shoe, but a sneaker. And then the next one that we introduced was the suede. And so you see this is like a single layered shoe. I find because it's a skin, these always give a little bit, but it runs true to size for most, a half size down for others. I also love that these come with two different strings or laces. So if you wanted to change the vibe up and not have a distraction, you could totally just change to the same color. Then the nylon, do you find the nylon to run true to size for you?
I do.
Yeah, I feel the same way. So I go down in the suede for me personally, but these run the same. And then I take this one also in 39.5. I'm kind of between. My sneakers are usually a bit smaller than my heels.
I prefer my sneakers to fit more snug than heels.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
why.
you use them for like stuff. You're very active.
If I'm wearing a sneaker, I'm like,
Doing stuff.
yeah, I'm being active,
She's a lady.
which is rare.
Okay, so you want to be grounded, you want to chill out a dressier or polished outfit, or you want a dressier sneaker, you can do one color. So if you're someone that has mostly ring 1 and 2, a color would be good for you. If you're someone that has a lot of color, a neutral would be good for you. And if you're anybody that's breathing, then a white one would be good for you. I'm really into the nylon right now. They just feel fresh and different and new, and I love it. Okay. Now we're getting into a flow, guys. So we've talked about the Seth. I didn't tell you about this one. This is the black leather. I find I like this one a lot when I want to have comfortable shoes on with a full pant, but not too full, like a medium pant. And then I like to change the laces. So I've changed mine to red, I've changed mine to green, and I also change it back to black. This is just random laces I have at home. And while we're on sneakers, you can talk about this too. What do you think about low profile sneakers?
I like sneakers. I really do, and I like a low profile sneaker. I like those. It's just not what I gravitate toward. Like when I'm like on the go, like I feel comfortable in a sandal, you know.
Maybe you have a high arch.
I think I do have a high arch.
My auntie, God bless her, she's not here with us, but she could only wear heels, and when she took her heels off, she kind of walked on like, almost like on her tippy toes still because her arch was so high. So for those that have asked, like, well, what sneakers should I wear if I'm not wearing Seths or Tibby? Not saying this brand particular, but a low profile sneaker. So one that's like, a really low sole. And maybe it's one that is like a solid color and it doesn't have multiple, or maybe it's 2 colors, but I really love a low profile sneaker.
It's like a soccer shoe almost.
Yes. Let's talk about clear and transparent.
Okay.
Do we have, where are the
Clear
Oscars?
Oscars.
Yeah.
Have a look.
Sweet. Thank you. Okay. So, surprise, surprise. The Mookie rain boot has been probably one of my most requested shoes. And I don't know if it's a rain, what does the Farmer's Almanac say? I don't know if people are checking that anymore. I'm kind of laughing at myself because the weather is all over the place. But for a slide, this is equally convenient to put on if you're just running out of the door. Also, when you're wearing something that's already bare on top and you want to not like add fuss to the bottom, just putting this on, it's truly like an invisible shoe. Cinderella wishes she had it. Having it in a color is just a great way to add a pop. So we showed you this earlier with a neutral I'm calling it a neutral ring 3. Amy did not say this. These are my own words and thoughts, but I really feel like there are some that really feel like they wouldn't be ring 2. I mean ring 3, but they are in fact ring 3-ish colors. It's all good.
He's here somewhere.
This one, so this jogger, for instance, this plays so well with ring 4. So when we had this in like a caramel Sid a while ago, I was wearing pink with it. I was wearing yellow with it. So this is where I would totally throw this on if I wanted to do like a little excitement and maybe a gray t-shirt, or I don't know if I would wear a blazer with this and this. It's a little bit much and too chill for me, but it's like almost like by category, because maybe it's a fact of wearing like, what are your red shoes? What are your, colored shoes? What are your black shoes? What are your white shoes? Because we have a lot of range.
We do.
I want to play a game with you. I'm sure you're going to love that. All right, so let's get all not really a game, but I'm just curious. If you were to like do shoes by personality type, because I just realized we always kind of try to offer a range for different people and different lifestyles. So if you're looking at these shoes, plus I think we had one more, whose personality would fall into what shoe? Like, what do you think? I think of Davina when I see this shoe. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a Davina, but I feel like the Betty sandal. What do you think?
I agree. I remember when the Bernice came out before the Betty, and she was the first one that was like all over them. Like these are very, especially with the gold and when it became the Betty with the heel, like that, I think she got them the second that they came out. So yeah, Davina, that makes sense.
So Davina leans a little bit more feminine, but also pushed and creative. And I think for those that are pragmatic, this is just a really wonderful way to show skin and to show like a bareness when you are actually wearing something a little bit more covered or even a little bit more masculine. What about the loafer?
I'm not sure.
I wanted to say fauna, but I feel like we've all worn this in like really cool ways. Sarah, this reminds me of Sarah in a way, because she's like grounded or in platforms, but she also this is her baseline. Like this is for us like, whoa, you're wearing a shiny shoe, but no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dwayne to me is Emma.
Tell me why.
Maybe it's because she has several pairs of them, but I think of Emma because especially with the metallic one, like it is, like it's really a standard sandal. It has like the single toe ring, little wraparound, like it's nothing crazy, but it's just interesting enough with like the wide footbed. Also, Darian.
This does remind me of Darian.
Yeah.
So I think when I think of someone that wants to wear this shoe, and we all do, but it's a shoe that grounds you without wearing a sneaker. You have refinement. I think Darian looks like she's always a little bit more, not push, but like she's relaxed but refined.
Absolutely, I
right?
agree.
So that's the vibe. And
Yeah.
I joke that this feels like an orthopedic shoe. Like it feels so good for it to be so bare. So that's a good thing. And then this one reminds me of Amy. I think that Amy, when we first started talking about what her modifier was, she said that she's feminine and ironic. And so wearing a shoe like this with a sock is totally her jam. And I really feel like starting from the shoe bottom, like knowing how you want to feel for the event you're going to would be really helpful when you're selecting shoes. Okay. So we didn't talk about the illusion that happens on the stylus just now when we talked about the tris. I was telling them how, you were looking for the other...
The clear Oscar, which
yeah.
it's here somewhere. Just don't know where.
Have you worn the clear Oscar?
I have not, actually, but I have worn just about every other clear shoe we have. I have the tall rain boots. I will be getting these when they restock. This was my sneaky hero piece for this, I guess, what is this, spring? They're amazing. They're so shockingly comfortable and cool and functional. Like they're really just everything. I mean, from here you can't even see that I have a shoe on. They're seriously
because it's bare but elevated. It's like not breaking up the eye. And so I think a lot of times when we leave the house and want comfort, throwing on something that's like a Birkenstock or something that's like not a flip-flop, it doesn't feel as refined as this. And
yeah,
I know people are afraid to show their toes, but honestly, I feel like it makes everybody's feet look better.
Yeah, get a good pedicure and you'll be...
Yeah, you're fine. Okay, so you get this editorial feeling without all the fuss. I love it. Really great. Cool.
Yeah.
What else? We've talked about a lot. This guy, Amy had hers on yesterday, and she's wearing in this like tan, which ended up being her nude. I wore my first pair out. So having this leather-soled hard bottom sandal that's bare, it really elevates you from moments that you might feel like were a flip flop moment. So wearing a flip flop with a sundress or anything like this is always going to make you feel a little bit more casual. This will make you feel elevated in a way that almost feels like a heel. So when there's an event, for instance, if you're wearing a dress like this, I was going to say to a wedding, but you're not wearing this to a wedding. But you would want to naturally gravitate to a heel. You could wear this and still have the comfort that no one else in the room has on, and also feel ladylike if you want it.
I don't know like what it is lately. I feel like I've been craving, especially like that kind of like wrappy gladiator feel. I'm not sure why. I think maybe it's like it's summer, it's starting to get warmer, and you're showing a little more skin. So I like it's just that element of like just a little bit of good detail. But I don't know. I'm really craving the strappiness of this.
You know what's funny? Because when you said gladiator, I always think about that when I see anything that ties around the ankle. But there's something that's really like, not warrior-like about it, but it feels like it's strong because it holds you. And this shoe is actually really strong. You wouldn't think that like holding one toe here would really give you power, but I walk in these. I've walked through Austin in these. Amy and I walked through New York from Grand Central to Five-Eye in these, and it never failed me. So very, very good.
Yeah, good ones.
All right, we're banging it out. Have we touched on everything? I'd like to talk about the Granger just a little bit more.
Okay.
I know Granger from a texture standpoint has been around in multiple iterations, but this pony hair is so good, so soft. So when you get a slide, for me, having a hard bottom slide that kind of looks like it could be slipper-esque is really great, but you want your heel to kind of not fall off the back of this. So I say take your true size unless you're in between. I would totally go up. Not that this is a short insole, it's just you just want your foot squarely into the shoe. Nothing feels worse than seeing your heel kind of dab off. And I would love to put this on with something that's just a little bit more refined, maybe the Reach trouser. I saw a lot of people come in with old brand koozies. What other jean? What's our crop jean that we have right now?
The Mao?
The cropped slouchy carpenter jean. Okay.
I also think when Amy talks about like how we don't want like a bifurcated life and you can wear these because the square toe makes it feel like a dress shoe. But even like these are my like slip-ons. Like I have the suede ones from last summer, the navy suede. But like if I'm going, you know, to a Pilates class, like I feel cool slipping these on and slipping them right back off. Like but I also, when I'm wearing a tropical wool trouser, like that square toe because it's kind of interesting and like, I don't know. I think that these are just, they can kind of transport you through a lot of different places.
Cool. All right, so let's kind of do a quick recap. Can you help me with this?
Yes.
All right, if you want to add energy, I would love to see a bold color. So having a bold color, and that's a wide variety, right? Oh, we did not talk about the berries. If you want to add a little bit of energy to your outfit, maybe it's something that's a little bit.
Too.
If you wanted to add energy to a wider pant, you likely wouldn't wear this guy because this still reads as a big somehow, and the square kind of breaks up the eye. I'm gonna pass you this. So I would totally do the berry in red or green because then you get the option of having a bare shoe with something so full at the bottom, but also having this hard bottom shoe. So if you want to add color and energy to something like this guy, sorry, I would totally do maybe the Weber.
This one?
Yeah. Would I also do the Allen in red? So I do this guy if I wanted a little elevation because you're really only going to see your toes here. And what's so great about this sandal is that it has a buckle so you can actually adjust this and make it a little bit tighter if your feet are narrow. And then it comes with a little tie. So having this tie, if you wanted to create that wrap around the ankle moment, that's a really beautiful way to kind of draw the eye down and get some like feminine energy. Or you could take it off and just have a plain. I call this one lingerie for your feet because it feels really sexy and like, I don't know, it just makes me feel.
These make me feel so much more put together in any outfit. Like I can wear these with jeans and I just kind of feel like better posture and I feel cooler.
Right. So a wider, fuller pant and you want to add energy, add it in a bare shoe. And if you have a slimmer pant or bottom, you could totally wear a wider shoe like the Trist in color, the Seth in color. Yeah,
Where's the Trist? Here we go.
yeah, those 2.
Mhm.
Okay. And then if you wanted to add fun, I would totally choose novelty. So that's where we would do any of the matte heels with the feather or the Byron. He must be doing something good. Byron, we miss you. The Brian sandal in any of the colors or the Granger in any color. And those, for the most part, to me, run true to size. I go up in the feather because I just like a little room when I'm prancing around. So if you want to add something, add more femininity, and you want to start with that, I would totally wear something a little bit strappier and that's skin forward, like the Kendrick, the Weber,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Wilder's that guy.
I always want to call Wilder the other one. And then the berry, which comes in green and red, or the alley.
For femininity too, I like a pump. Like I would like the Allen or the
Mm-hmm.
where's the other pump? That black pump.
The Albert.
The Albert. Yeah, the Allen or the Albert. It's all the iterations that are killing me. This one is my like feminine kind of elevating shoe.
Okay. Well, I love that. So if you wanted to be grounded, doing a tonal sneaker or a low loafer would be a great way. So starting with this, if that's how you want to feel, the Fred would be great here, nacho in all of the colors. Also, the Seth would be good. And then if you want to feel a little bit lighter, you could do white or clear.
Mhm.
So you could easily do the Atlas, the Stylist, the Trist, or the Oscar. And for white shoes and heels, we always offer them, and I used to like I don't know, but I wore them to the Beyonce concert, and I was like, this isn't so like Usher lady. This is very like elevated, but like better than a sneaker.
Mhm.
And if you want to add structure, which I think you do like structure, and length, then you could do a sling back like the Allen or the Albert heel. Cool.
Awesome.
All right, so I feel like we got through a little bit faster than what we expected, but I do think there's some importance to investing in socks that really make you feel good and like elevate and change things for you. So you've worn a sock before with a heel. This is a heel I got from one of our retail partners, but we offer these. Can you hand me the Albert? Where's the Albert?
He's here.
The black
Okay.
heel?
Yeah, there he is. Oh.
Sweet. So if I were wearing the Albert or any shoe with a tonal, I wouldn't do this with this one per se, but with a skirt or something that's a little bit shorter. I really like how that makes it like a little boot-esque. For shoes and socks, like these are fluffy socks that I wore that we had from the winter in cashmere, but I also like these in flatter knit downs or yarns, and you could wear this with your Seth. So what Sarah did is she wore her blue suede Seths with blue socks, and that was a really fresh way to do it.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. It was so cool.
It was cute, right?
Yeah, super cute.
Because this is two different energies, right? This in the winter versus this with the sandal. Amy's gonna always throw on a sock with a sandal, and that's any of the sandals we showed. Likely with this, she would do a gray, but if you have this in another color, even in white, you could do a red sock, which is more Davina style. I love these because these are like my nude. So wearing this with the Trist or the Oscar, when you don't want it to show your toes, you have options, right? And then we usually use Commando, right? For the most part. So we've been through some things, clearly.
Oh my goodness.
Well, this is a hot mess express. Well, I haven't worn these in a while, but for sheer stockings, if you're someone that doesn't want to show their feet or ankles, wearing these with some of the strappy sandals could be really nice. This is a brand I like called Noosh. I just like that it has like the all the way across the belly, no seam thing. But I think that's a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So first day back, not that bad, but do we have any housekeeping? No.
St. Simon's. You're going to St. Simon's,
Oh yeah.
aren't you?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
I think so. I'll be there at some point.
Awesome.
And that's it. Yeah. Sweet. So thank you guys. See you soon.